blessings, God grace, God mercy be upon you in this day. Shalom to all my brothers and sisters out here in the world. It's your brother Jehoshaphat Israel here in the house that God has made on my anointed sanctioned time, my allotted time. That when I come up here, if I'm not playing with y'all, I'm on sanctioned time by my God. My God asked me to come up here today with a small story about my life. And I would like to just point out the fact that whatever you did in your past made you the person that you are in the present. As you look at your life and you look at the things that you have done, you have accomplished, your setbacks, your follies, your greatest achievements and accomplishments in this life. Whatever your butt was doing in the past, you're going to be doing in the present. And if you're doing it in the present, you're going to be doing it in the future if God decides you to give his breath of life. Now, when I was in the third grade, when I went to Columbia Elementary, I was only in the third grade. Family, I ain't never been broke. I ain't never been, even as a child, you know what I'm saying? Even as a young man, I have always had a job. I have always had some type of hustle to get me money. I can't sit up here and look at my parents begging them for money all the time. I remember my dad, he would give me $1. He would give me when I was in like the third grade, he would give me like $1 every Saturday to walk down to the corner store and play Street Fighter and get a bag of chips and get some pop and whatnot. I was in the store the other day. I seen some Twinkies, family. I seen some Twinkies, family, that costed $1. You know what I'm saying? 3 years ago, them same Twinkies would only cost 25 cents. You talk about inflation. Who's going to buy it? How long that stuff is going to sit on the shelf like that? I kid you not. A Twinkie that cost 25 cents back in 2019, it had $1 sign on it. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different now. I remember with $1, I could go down to the corner store. I could buy a whole soda, a bag of chips, and still have 50 cents to play Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2000 back in 1988, you know what I'm saying? I would still have enough time to be at that corner store playing it like it's a real arcade all damn day with just 50 cents. And I had snacks and I had a pop to drink. But let me get back to the story that I originated from, the story that your God want me to tell you. So I went to Columbia Elementary. I was only in the third grade. Every single day after school, I would get on my beach cruiser and I would drive in the back of my neighborhoods and in the front of my neighborhood as far as the perimeter that my dad set forth for me to travel. So I would stay in the perimeter it was a lot because it was right over there by Chandler Airport. I would take from all the way from White's Bridge all the way to Chandler's Airport back to the park, back to Fink White Park, and I would just collect cans and bottles. I looked at just like this, family. I kid you not. I'll be on my bike. You know, it's funny. You can laugh, but laugh with me. Don't laugh at me. I'll be on my bike. I'll be sitting up over there collecting them cans and bottles. And the crazy thing about Chicago is y'all don't have no recycle centers at all. Now, my older brother Jimmy, he would laugh at me. He'd be like, "What you doing collecting them cans and bottles?" And I'm telling him, I'm like, we gonna get some money off of this. Now, the one day that we set it off, we bagged up all of our recycles and we headed off to the recycle center. I lost half of the damn recycles just getting there, and somewhere getting to the recycle center, I lost my brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where he went. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where he went. I didn't even make it to the recycle center. But somewhere in the hood, I found him. You know what I'm saying? I found him. He was coming back and he had a handful of money. Now, he sit up there and he made fun of me about me after school collecting all them cans and bottles because there was a lot of winos in the area. And at nighttime, they be out there drinking they Coke 45 and they Old English and they Mad Dog 2020. They be out there all night long drinking it. And you know me, right after school, I get my bag. I'll be on my bike. I'll go pick up all their cans and all their bottles and I would cash them out. Now, before that time, my brother, he didn't believe me. He was all like, man, why you doing it? He was making fun of me and everything. But I bet you when he took his butt over to that recycle center and he came back with fist of money in his hand, I got paid, family. $5 back in 1988 was probably the equivalence of probably $15, $20. And then it's $15, $20, but everything is cheaper. Now, when I came out here to Chicago, y'all don't have no recycling at all here. And it just blows my mind, the fact that I have recycled from the time I was a child all the way into complete adulthood. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, I'm still recycling because all the stuff that y'all throw away out here, we cash it in and make money. It just blows my mind that I don't see nobody in Chicago doing any recycling at all. And y'all sit up and y'all put all y'all cans and bottles in them bins, and then the government just takes it. Y'all sit it right at the curb, and y'all don't get no money out of it. For every, let's say you buy a box of Pepsi, guaranteed to a California Black, that's $2 back on my recycles. You know what I'm saying? That's $2 back on my recycles. So recycling in California is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? There's centers everywhere. When I was 28, I ran my own recycle center. But it wasn't automatic like this. I had to do all the weighing of all the materials that was brought to me and then cash the person out and then restocked whatever the materials is. I did that from 2008 all the way to 2014 as an adult, and I made good money doing it, family. I made very good money at that time. In 2014 and 2008, that was a good position. That was good money to be made. But as I go around here in Chicago and I'll be looking at y'all, I don't see nobody on the street picking up these cans and bottles. It's cans and bottles everywhere, littered in the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's dirty, but you see them out because ain't nobody out there making no money on no bottles and cans. And it's a damn shame that these same bottles and cans that you see littered on the ground here in Chicago, you would never see nothing like that in California, because people all day long go about their business picking up bottles and cans and actually cashing those cans out to make money. Like that bag right there with all them cans, this one of those bags right there, I did recycling. You know what I'm saying? I ran a whole center by myself. I could tell you that bag right there with those crushed cans, that's $50, family. That's every bit of $38.78. So both of them bags right there, that man is looking at close to $100. It's a blessing to have recycling in California, but to come out here and every time I go to my Blue Barrel, I get sad because I see all them cans and bottles up in it, and I ain't getting no money out of it. But if I take myself down to the Jewels or the Osco and I buy that box, they're gonna charge that. See, that's the difference. California, they gonna give you the $2 back for your cans and bottles. Here in Chicago, they gonna charge you that same tax, and they're not gonna give you anything for it. And then you yourself, you're just gonna throw it in the trash. So this is my story time for today. I ain't never been broke, family. I always had a hustle. The little kids, last time I checked, the little kids in my neighborhood, they used to bring me all their money just to save it. Just because they could trust me, just because they knew of my character, of who I am, family. I had a bank when I was in the second and fourth grade. I had a bank, family. I had a box and everything. I had people names on it and everything. They bring all the little kids in the neighborhood. They bring me all their money. They'd be like, oh, Jehosa, just keep my $15. I don't want my bigger brother to beat me up and steal it. Oh, Jehosa, I'm going to lose my money. If I could just put it in your bank and I'll come pick it up when we go to the roller ring. All day long, family, all day long. So the moral of the story is you are what you was in the past. Whatever you was doing in the past, you're going to do it in the present. If you're doing it in the present, you're going to do it in the future. Your past makes who you are. If you wasn't SHIT in the past, you ain't SHI, you ain't shit in the future. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't shit in the past, you ain't shit in the present, and you ain't gonna be shit in the future. It's sad, family, but it's life, family, because it still rolls back into what God said. Whatever you have will be added to you. Whatever you don't have will be taken from you. Peace and blessings be upon your day. This has been your brother, Jehoshaphat Israel, here in the house that God has made. Once more again, my brothers and my sisters, I bless the top of your head all the way down to your bottom of your feet and everything in between. Be blessed in this day. All glory be given to Yah.